You get a letter in the mail. It's a $500 fine because your lawn is brown and dying. The problem? Your city has a mandatory water ban because of a drought. So you're trapped. Fined for saving water, fined for letting your grass die. This isn't a mistake. This is how the system is designed to work. Welcome to the American suburbs, where the biggest threat to your wallet isn't a burglar. It's a neighbor with a rulebook and way too much time on their hands. Tonight, we give you the ammunition. We are counting down the 50 dumbest, most expensive, and most infuriating HOA rules ever enforced. Less frustration, more fighting back. Ready? Let's start with number 50. Number 50. Mandating the perfect green. This goes beyond the dead grass fine we just talked about. This is the next level. Many HOAs, especially in Florida and California, have bylaws about the exact shade of your lawn. You might get a violation notice claiming your grass fails to meet, quote, state-mandated chlorophyll levels. They might even have rules against using certain fertilizers that make the grass too green, because it doesn't match the approved sod color for the neighborhood. You're not a homeowner. You're an unpaid groundskeeper for a golf course you're not allowed to play on. Number 49. The anti-vegetable mandate. In neighborhoods across the country, HOAs strictly ban front yard vegetable gardens. You decide to grow a few tomato plants or some basil. It's healthy, it saves money, and it's on your property. Too bad? The HOA board deems your garden an ugly rustic blight. They argue it's not aesthetically uniform with the endless sea of chemically treated grass. You are forced to rip it out or face daily fines, because apparently nothing screams slum like a fresh, edible tomato. Number 48. The crime of saving energy. This is one of the most common and most hypocritical rules. A total ban on outdoor clotheslines. You want to save energy. You want to lower your electric bill by hundreds of dollars a year. You hang your laundry outside on a sunny day. The board declares your laundry a visual crime. They claim it makes the neighborhood look transient or poor, directly impacting property values. Even in states that have right-to-dry laws protecting solar energy use, HOAs will fight you tooth and nail on placement and visibility. They would rather you waste energy than let a neighbor see your socks. Number 47. The illegal yard gnome. This rule covers the broad category of non-conforming yard art. This includes pink flamingos, small statues, bird baths, or even the wrong kind of stepping stones. You place a small, harmless gnome in your flower bed. It makes you smile. A neighbor files a complaint. The gnome is cited. You receive a cease and desist letter. Some HOAs have an approved decor catalog, and if your item isn't in it, it's considered trash. The HOA isn't just managing land. They are the self-appointed curators of your personal taste, and your taste is, officially, bad. Number 46. Regulating holiday cheer. This isn't about if you can decorate for the holidays, it's when and how. It's October 30th. You put up your Halloween decorations. That's a fine. Or it's January 3rd, and you haven't taken your Christmas lights down. That's a bigger fine. The rules state decorations can only be displayed exactly between, say, December 1st and December 26th. Not a day before, not a day after. You are fined $50 for premature festivity or lingering cheer. It's their calendar. You're just paying taxes in it. Number 45. The $10 parking error. We're moving from the lawn to the driveway. This rule is pure micromanagement. You pull into your own driveway. Your back wheel is slightly on the grass edge, or your bumper hangs 6 inches over the public sidewalk. A board member with a tape measure issues a violation. The rule might dictate your vehicle must be parked at least 6 inches from the grass, but no more than 12 inches from your garage door. This isn't about safety. This is a daily geometry test you didn't sign up for, and failing it costs you money. Number 44. The banned work truck. This is a classic. No commercial vehicles may be parked in driveways overnight. You're a plumber, an electrician, or a contractor. You drive a van or truck for your job. It might have a small, tasteful company logo on the side. You are forced to park your work vehicle blocks away, off the property, or pay for a storage unit. Why? The HOA board considers your truck an industrial waste site on wheels. It lowers the tone of the neighborhood. They love it when you show up to fix their pipes, but they'll fine you if you dare to live next to them. Number 43. The forbidden repair. This rule is about what you do on your driveway. Many HOAs forbid you from performing any automotive repairs or maintenance on your property. Your car has a minor issue. You decide to change your own oil or replace your brake pads on a Saturday afternoon to save $500. This is strictly forbidden. The HOA classifies car maintenance as an industrial activity or an eyesore. They are terrified an oil stain might permanently mar the pristine concrete. You are forced to pay a mechanic for a 10-minute job, all to protect the neighborhood's delicate sensibilities. Number 42. The garage door mandate. This rule is simple. Your garage door must be closed at all times. You're working in your garage. You're bringing groceries in from the car. The kids are getting their bikes out for a ride. Too bad. The rule states the door can only be opened for the immediate ingress and egress of a vehicle. If you leave it open for more than 5 minutes, a quiet tyrant of the suburbs will photograph it and send it to the board. They don't want to see your storage boxes or your workbench. Your garage isn't your workspace. It's just a box they don't want to look at. Number 41. The $1,000 mailbox. This is the ultimate symbol of forced conformity. Many HOAs demand absolute uniformity in mailboxes. Your mailbox gets knocked over by a snowplow, or it just rusts over time. You go to the hardware store and buy a standard, perfectly nice $40 replacement. You get a fine. You have violated the mailbox code. You are required to purchase the one specific model of mailbox from one specific vendor, often costing upwards of $300 to $1,000. It's not about the mail. It's about proving that they can control every single object on your property, right down to the curb. Number 40. The light bulb police. We're not talking about holiday lights. We're talking about the simple bulb on your front porch that you use for safety. Your porch light burns out. You replace it with a standard, bright, energy-efficient LED bulb. It works. You get a notice. Your bulb is the wrong color temperature. The rules demand, and I quote, a carefully curated amber glow, not to exceed 3000 Kelvin. Board members will walk by and visually inspect your light. Some residents report fines of $25 per day until the offensive bright white light is replaced. This isn't about aesthetics. It's about power. It's the HOA proving they have the authority to regulate the actual light that spills from your home. They own the very color of the night. Number 39. The approved shade of beige. This one feels personal. Your house needs a new coat of paint. You spend weeks choosing the perfect, tasteful color, a nice eggshell, a muted gray, maybe a daring off-white. You submit your choice to the Architectural Review Committee. It's denied. Not because it's ugly, but because it's not one of the 3 pre-approved shades of beige on their list, which are all nearly identical. You are forced to spend thousands of dollars to paint your house the exact same color as every other house on the block. Your home isn't your castle. It's a uniform you're forced to wear. Number 38. The unapproved screen door. You want to let a nice breeze into your home without inviting insects. A logical solution is a screen door. You install a high-quality, standard one. The next day, there's a violation notice on your door. The HOA has a rule against screen doors. Or, worse, they allow them but only one specific, ridiculously expensive model from a catalog that hasn't been updated since 1995. Your functional, modern door is a violation of the neighborhood's historical character. They are literally regulating the air that enters your home. Number 37. The 6-inch war. You want privacy, so you decide to build a fence. You check city regulations, get a permit, and plan to build it right on your property line. But the HOA strikes again. Their rules state that any fence must be built at least 6 inches inside your own property line. This creates a bizarre no-man's-land strip of land that you still own, still have to mow, but that is now on your neighbor's side of the fence. You effectively paid for a brand new fence just to give your neighbor a little more yard. Number 36. Resisting the signal. This rule often runs into trouble with federal law, but that doesn't stop them. Federal regulations generally protect a homeowner's right to install a satellite dish. HOAs can't ban them outright. So, they get creative. They create rules, stating the dish cannot be visible from the street. This forces you to install it on a part of your roof where it gets absolutely no signal, making it useless. It's a perfect example of malicious compliance. They can't legally deny you the dish, but they will absolutely deny you the ability to watch television. Number 35. The No Comfort Allowed Clause. It's the middle of August. A heat wave hits and your central air conditioning unit dies. A repair will take a week and cost $5,000. To survive, you buy a $150 window AC unit as a temporary fix. That's a violation. Most HOAs have a strict ban on window AC units because they are an eyesore. You are fined $50 a day until you remove it, forcing you to choose between boiling in your own home or going into debt for an emergency repair. Your physical comfort is less important than their pristine view from the curb. Number 34. Selling your house their way. The final insult often comes when you try to escape. You put your house on the market. Your realtor puts up a standard, professional, for sale sign in your yard. The HOA fines you. Why? Because you didn't use the official, HOA-approved sign. This sign is a specific size, font, and color, and you often have to buy or rent it directly from the HOA management company for an inflated fee. They have the power to micromanage the very process you're using to get away from their micromanagement. Number 33. The Silent Hoop. This is a direct assault on childhood. Many HOAs have incredibly strict rules about basketball hoops. Even portable ones that aren't permanent structures are targeted. The rule often states that the hoop must be put away and stored completely out of sight immediately after use. If your kids finish playing and leave it in the driveway for an hour, you get a violation notice. Some even have time restrictions, banning the sound of a bouncing basketball after 8 p.m. It's not about safety. It's about enforcing absolute, joyless silence. Number 32. The 41-pound offense. This rule is as arbitrary as it is cruel. HOAs love to regulate pets, and their favorite tool is the weight limit. The rule might state, no dogs over 40 pounds allowed. You find a perfect rescue dog. It's calm, gentle, and quiet. But at the vet, it weighs in at 41 pounds. The HOA can legally force you to get rid of your dog. Meanwhile, your neighbor's 39-pound terror that barks all day is a model citizen. They're not managing nuisances. They're just enforcing a number on a page. Number 31. Interior decorating by committee. You might think their power stops at your front door. You would be wrong. The most invasive rules dictate the color of your window treatments as seen from the outside. You buy beautiful navy blue curtains for your bedroom. You get a fine. The rule states that all window coverings, drapes, or blinds must have a white or off-white backing. You are forced to either replace your curtains or buy special liners. Also, your personal design choice doesn't disrupt the visual harmony of the street. Your home is just a stage, and they are the directors. Number 30. The Playground Inquisition. You want to buy a simple swing set for your 5-year-old? Easy, right? Wrong. The HOA requires you to first submit a 20-page exterior modification application. This includes architectural diagrams, a list of all materials, exact color swatches, and a survey map showing the proposed location. The committee, quote, needs to ensure the proposed play structure adheres to the community's architectural harmony. They have 90 days to make a decision. By the time they approve your simple $200 swing set, your kid has already moved on to video games. This process isn't about safety. It's about making you beg for permission to let your own children play in your own yard. Number 29. The Trash Can Curfew. Your city picks up trash at 7 a.m. on Tuesdays. So, you put your bins out on Monday night. That's a violation. The HOA rules state trash bins cannot be visible from the street for more than 12 hours total. They can only be put out after 7 p.m. the night before, and must be brought back in before 7 p.m. on pickup day. Miss that window by an hour, and it's a $25 fine. It's a bi-weekly stealth operation just to get rid of your garbage. Number 28. The wrong kind of patriotism. You want to show support for a political candidate or a cause you believe in. You place a small, standard sign in your yard. The HOA immediately demands you remove it. They often have rules banning all political signs to maintain neighborhood neutrality. Or they'll allow them, but only for a ridiculously short window, like 7 days before an election. They have effectively created a free speech dead zone that you pay a monthly fee to live in. Number 27. The unapproved grill. It's the 4th of July, and you want a barbecue. You wheel out your classic charcoal kettle grill. You get a warning. The HOA has banned all charcoal grills for safety reasons or because the smoke might bother the neighbors. You are only allowed to use a gas grill, which many people would argue has less flavor. They're not just telling you what you can cook, they're telling you how you're allowed to cook it. Number 26. Mandatory holiday participation. We've covered rules against decorating too early. This is the opposite. Some obsessive HOAs have rules requiring you to decorate for the holidays. To maintain a festive and uniform community appearance, you might be required to have a minimum number of lights displayed by a certain date. If you choose not to participate, you can be fined for being a Grinch. You are literally being fined for not having enough holiday spirit. Number 25. The trampoline liability hysteria. Your kids want a trampoline. You know the risks. You buy one with a high-quality safety net, and you place it in your backyard, far from any fences. The HOA bans it anyway. They claim it's an insurance liability for the entire community, even though it's on your private property and covered by your own homeowner's insurance. Their fear of a lawsuit outweighs your right to choose what your family does for fun in your own backyard. Number 24. The sidewalk chalk graffiti law. This rule feels like it was written by a cartoon villain. Your kids draw a colorful hopscotch board or a sunny scene on the sidewalk or your driveway with washable sidewalk chalk. A board member sees it and cites you for graffiti or unapproved exterior modifications. You are forced to hose it off immediately. In their world, a temporary, joyful drawing made by a child is an act of vandalism that must be stamped out. Number 23. The living fence violation. You have a row of bushes or hedges that serves as a natural property line. It looks great and provides privacy, but it grows. If that hedge grows to be 6 feet and 1 inch tall, and the bylaws state a maximum height of 6 feet, you will get a fine. You are forced to constantly trim and measure your plants, not for their health, but to comply with an arbitrary number. Nature's growth is just another thing for them to regulate. Number 22. The guest parking inquisition. Having friends over for dinner? You better check the rules. Many HOAs have ridiculously complex guest parking rules. Your friend might have to park in a designated guest spot half a mile away. Or worse, you might need to get a temporary parking pass from the management office 48 hours in advance. If they just park on the street in front of your house, their car could be towed in a matter of hours, turning your friendly get-together into a $400 nightmare. Number 21. The sidewalk you don't own. The public sidewalk in front of your house is city property, but buried in your HOA documents is a clause making you financially responsible for its upkeep. So, when the roots of a city-planted tree crack the concrete, the HOA doesn't call the city. They send you the violation notice. You are ordered to pay $1,500 to repair the public walkway. If you don't comply within 30 days, they will hire their own contractor, pay the invoice, and then place a lien on your home for the full amount plus administrative fees. You're essentially forced to pay to fix government property, or risk losing your own. Number 20. The roof shingle monopoly. This is one of the most expensive rules on the books. A hailstorm damages your roof. Your insurance company agrees to pay for a replacement using high-quality, modern architectural shingles, but the HOA board denies your request. Their rules state you must use one specific type of slate or tile, often from a single supplier, to maintain architectural consistency. This material costs 3 times as much as standard shingles. Your insurance won't cover the difference. You are forced to pay $10,000 out of pocket, not for a better roof, but for a cosmetically identical one. Number 19. The unapproved tree. A tree in your yard gets old and has to be removed. You decide to plant a new one, a beautiful oak tree. The next week, you get a violation notice. You have planted a non-compliant tree. Buried in the HOA bylaws is an approved plant and tree list. Your beautiful oak is not on it. You are ordered to spend another $1,000 to rip out the perfectly healthy new tree and replace it with one of their 3 approved, boring choices. They are the unelected city planners of your 200-square-foot lawn. Number 18. The guest liability clause. You host a small party. A friend parks their car slightly on the edge of your grass for 10 minutes. The next day, you get a $100 fine. HOA rules often state that the homeowner is 100% responsible for the conduct of their guests, tenants, and visitors. This means if your guest's kid rides their bike on the wrong side of the sidewalk, or your visiting uncle doesn't know about the trash can curfew, you are the one who pays the price. You're not just a resident, you're the unpaid sheriff for everyone you invite over. Number 17. The discontinued paint color. This is a trap with no escape. Your HOA requires you to repaint your trim every 5 years using an official color. Parker Brothers Beige, number 752. You go to the paint store, ready to comply. There's just one problem. That specific color was discontinued by the manufacturer 2 years ago. It no longer exists. You explain this to the board. They don't care. The rule is the rule. You are now being fined every single day for not using a paint color that is physically impossible to buy. Number 16. The invisible fence violation. To keep your dog safe, you install an invisible electric fence. It's buried underground, completely out of sight. It's the most discreet way to contain a pet, but it's still a violation. The Architectural Committee, in its infinite wisdom, has a bylaw against all fences, including ones that cannot be seen. They argue that even though they can't see it, they know it's there, and that violates the open and unobstructed nature of the community. They are now officially regulating things that are imaginary. Number 15. The security camera subpoena. You install a doorbell camera for your own security. It gives you peace of mind. A few weeks later, you get a letter from the HOA. It's a new rule demanding that any resident with a security camera must provide the HOA board with access to the footage upon request. The letter states it's, quote, for the purpose of verifying bylaw compliance. They will use your own $200 camera to fine you because they saw you putting your trash out 2 hours too early. The very tool you bought to protect your family from criminals is now being used to turn your neighbors into spies. Number 14. Mandatory power washing. This rule feels like a legal shakedown. The HOA decides that all driveways in the community must be professionally power washed once a year to maintain a clean and uniform appearance. Your driveway is already perfectly clean. It doesn't matter. You are required to hire a company to do it and provide a receipt as proof of compliance. And guess what? The HOA management company just happens to have a list of preferred vendors that they strongly recommend. It's not about cleanliness. It's about forcing you to spend money. Number 13. The unpatriotic flagpole. The Freedom to Display the American Flag Act of 2005 is a federal law that says no HOA can stop you from flying the American flag. But they've found ways around it. They can't ban the flag, so they regulate the flagpole. Your pole might be the wrong material. It might be too tall or too short. It might be mounted at the wrong angle. They will fine you $100 a week for having an unapproved flagpole, even though the flag on it is protected by federal law. They are using bureaucracy to make patriotism a finable offense. Number 12. The post-construction land grab. You buy a new home. You have a beautiful backyard that extends 20 feet to a line of trees. You mow it and care for it for 10 years. One day, the HOA sends out a notice. They've had the property resurveyed. They now claim that the back 10 feet of your yard was never your property, but is actually a community common area easement. They install a new fence, cutting your yard in half. You paid a premium for that lot size. You paid taxes on it for a decade. And with one letter, they just took it, with a quote that says it was always their intention. There is nothing you can do. You just funded the creation of their new dog park. Number 11. The subjective noise complaint. Most HOAs have rules against nuisance noise. That sounds reasonable, but the rule rarely defines what that means. The definition is whatever your angriest neighbor decides it is. Your kids laughing too loudly in the backyard at 3 p.m. on a Saturday? That's a nuisance. The sound of your garage door opening at 6 a.m. because you have to go to work? That's a nuisance. A wind chime that they suddenly decide they hate? Nuisance. This vague rule becomes a weapon, allowing any neighbor to anonymously file complaints and have the HOA fine you without any real proof. Number 10. The right to enter. This is the one that sends a chill down your spine. Buried deep in the hundreds of pages of documents you signed when you bought your home is a clause. It often states that the HOA board or its agents have the right to enter your property, and sometimes even your home, to verify a violation. They might have to give you 24 hours notice, but your consent is not always required. If they think you have an unapproved modification inside your house, they can claim the right to come in and check. Your home is no longer your private sanctuary. It's a museum, and they hold the master key. Number 9. The $10,000 weed. This is how a tiny problem becomes a financial catastrophe. You have a single, stubborn weed in your lawn. You miss it. The HOA sends you a $50 fine. You forget to pay it. The next month, it's a $100 fine plus a $30 late fee. Then comes the legal notice fee of $250. In their notice, they quote that all unpaid fees, fines, and associated costs will accrue interest at 18%. Within 6 months, that one weed has snowballed into a $2,000 lien against your property, enforced by their lawyers, whose fees you are now also paying. This isn't about landscaping. It's a business model designed to extract the maximum amount of money from the smallest possible mistake. Number 8. Banning the birds. You want to bring a little nature to your backyard, so you hang a simple bird feeder. You enjoy watching cardinals and blue jays while you drink your morning coffee. The next day, it's gone. A notice on your door informs you that all bird feeders are prohibited. The official reason is that they might attract rodents and other vermin. You are told to remove it permanently. In their perfect, sterile world, even wild birds are considered an unapproved nuisance that must be eliminated in favor of the chemically treated, silent, green desert they call a lawn. Number 7. Rules for thee, but not for me. This is the rule of pure hypocrisy. You get fined because your trash cans are the wrong shade of brown. A week later, you see 3 non-compliant, bright blue trash cans sitting in the driveway of the HOA president's house, and they stay there all week. You file a complaint with photographic evidence. The complaint is dismissed by the board, of which he is the head for lack of merit. The rules, it turns out, are only for the little people. The powerful can have any colored trash can they want. Number 6. The retroactive rental ban. You bought your home specifically as an investment property. You check the HOA rules, and long-term rentals are allowed. You find a wonderful family to rent it to. A year later, the HOA board decides they don't like renters anymore. They pass a new rule banning all rentals, and they make it effective immediately. They quote a clause saying they can amend the bylaws at any time. You are given 30 days to evict your tenants or face fines of $100 per day. Your entire financial plan is destroyed overnight by a handful of neighbors on a power trip. You didn't just lose income. You lost the fundamental right to use your own property as you saw fit when you bought it. Number 5. The invisible basketball backboard. This rule is a masterpiece of pointlessness. A community in Texas had a rule against basketball hoops, but after residents complained, they amended it. They now allowed hoops, but with one condition. The backboard had to be completely transparent. Not translucent, not white, but perfectly clear, so it would be minimally visible from the street. This rule serves no purpose for safety, property values, or aesthetics. It exists for one reason and one reason only: to prove that they have the power to create a rule about absolutely anything, no matter how absurd. Number 4. The price of a wheelchair ramp. Your elderly mother is moving in with you and she uses a wheelchair. To get her into the house safely, you need to build a small, simple ramp over your 2 front steps. You submit the plans to the HOA. They deny them. The wood you chose is the wrong color. The angle of the ramp is not aesthetically pleasing. While you spend 2 months fighting with them, resubmitting plans and begging for approval, your mother is either trapped in your house or has to risk injury every single time she leaves. The Fair Housing Act is supposed to prevent this, but they use bureaucratic delays as a weapon. They are placing their visual preferences above a person's basic human right to enter and exit their own home safely. Number 3. Foreclosure over a flower pot. This is the nuclear option. A homeowner in Florida was fined $25 because her geraniums were in the wrong kind of pot on her front porch. She disputed it. The HOA hired a law firm. The fines and legal fees began to multiply. Within a year, the bill was over $20,000. The HOA then used that debt to do the unthinkable. They foreclosed on her $300,000 home. According to court records, they sold it at auction to pay off the debt that started with a flower pot. This is their ultimate power. For the smallest infraction, they can take everything you own. Number 2. Regulating the air. This one sounds like a joke, but it's real. Multiple HOAs have vague rules against offensive odors emanating from a property. A family in a Texas suburb was repeatedly cited and fined hundreds of dollars because a neighbor complained about the smell of their cooking. The family was cooking traditional Indian curry. The complaint simply stated the odor was not a smell that belongs in this neighborhood. The HOA had no way to measure it, no standard to enforce it. They simply decided that one person's culture was another person's nuisance, and they put a price tag on it. Number 1. The HOA sanctioned vandalism. This is the ultimate catch-22. It's the perfect trap. A community's sprinkler system, which is maintained by the HOA, malfunctions overnight. It sprays directly onto the side of your house for 8 hours, breaking a window and soaking the drywall. You report it. The HOA's response? They send you a violation notice. The notice quotes a bylaw. All homeowners are required to maintain their home's exterior in good repair. You are being fined $200 for the broken window that their sprinkler just broke. You are responsible for the damage they caused. There is no appeal. You have to pay them for the privilege of them breaking your house. Close. So, is it about keeping the neighborhood nice, or is it about unchecked power? The line gets blurry when a rule designed to keep lawns green is used to kick a family out of their home. These aren't just dumb rules. They are examples of what happens when ordinary people are given absolute authority over their neighbors, with almost no accountability. Remember, rules vary by city and state. So what do you think? Are HOAs the heroic guardians of property values, or are they just petty tyrants with a clipboard? Let us know the dumbest rule you've ever had to deal with in the comments below. We read every single one. And if you think the rules at home are bad, wait until you see the ones they can enforce at work. Our next video dives into the 50 dumbest workplace rules that can get you fired. You won't want to miss it.